Hey there, party people! I've said before on this channel that Elizabeth Bathory is the most Fate character of all time. If you enjoy the themes of Fate, standing up to impossible odds with blood in your mouth and defiant hope in your eyes, you should love Liz, because that's her whole character. I stand by that notion, and I will die on that hill. But today I'm not talking about the most Fate character, I'm talking about the best Fate character, who just so happens to also be a tiny dragon girl. Introduced to the fanbase as Fairy Knight Lancelot, or Tamlin Lancelot in NA for some reason. Like, yeah, it sounds cool, but it doesn't make sense. Tamlin is the name of a Scottish folklore character that is tangentially related to fairies, being a human that is dealing with a fairy queen that stole his wife. So I guess just rule of cool? At least sounding-wise? Anyway, point is she is given the gifted name Lancelot, which actually nerfs her instead of buffs her like the other fairy knights. And Lancelot is fitting due to her origins in Fey Britain's Lake District. And her true name is Mélusine. Now, Mélusine is the name of a spirit in French folklore, specifically the spirit of fresh and holy water. This ultimately has nothing to do with the Fate character Mélusine, as that's just the name given to her. The two figures share zero relation outside of that. Though there is a level of irony, as this Mélusine came from the most disgusting and vile bog imaginable, filled with the putrid decay of a dragon's corpse. Her own corpse, in fact. In both the Lost Belt and proper human history, Abalon is the last dragon. In the latter, it remained in the realm of humans long after the other dragons left, not trying to go to the reverse side of the world until it was too late. In the Lost Belt, where everything was destroyed by the White Titan, it didn't even have a chance, even after successfully clawing its way to Avalon, being unable to enter it. So instead, it flew over the endless sea until exhaustion ended the mighty dragon's life. However, in its final moments, the dragon cut off its left claw, and it remained alive in a state that could honestly barely even be considered life. It was a mound of perpetually rotting flesh, with just enough consciousness to wriggle and perceive its wretched existence. As the land of Fairy Britain grew and changed over the millennia, this rot remained, until it was found by the head of the Wind Clan, Aurora. The fairy saw the moving flesh and recognized it as a creature. Without a shred of altruism, with only vanity in her heart to show off what a kind and virtuous fairy she was, to help such a loathsome thing, she waded into the mire and reached out a hand. And what grasped it wasn't something horrid and wretched, but another slender, beautiful hand. This thing had been perceived, and it perceived in return. Even if it was for all of the wrong reasons, even if it was wholly selfish, it was given kindness. It was shown beauty, and it wanted so desperately to be like this beautiful fairy and repay her kindness that it was reborn as the fairy that would be known as Mélusine. The dragon fairy, born of misplaced love, would be known as the most powerful and most beautiful fairy in all of Fairy Britain, though her heart would only be for her Aurora, even though her heart is in turn broken by her. Mélusine, like most of the important characters in the 6th Lost Belt, is a tragic figure. Seriously, I'm pretty sure Aurora and Beryl are the only major characters who are wholly unsympathetic. But this translates to her Chaldean self in a much more fun way than the others. You see, once she's summoned into Chaldea, she basically becomes a cute and needy cat.
I seem gallant to you? I see. Then I should live up to those hopes. To tell you the truth, though, I'm actually lonely. I lack self-esteem. I want to stare at your face 24 hours a day. And when you leave me alone, I want to burn Chaldea to the ground. But, yeah, I'm proud to be your servant. So I'll be patient and keep on being your number one.
This is the type of multifaceted character that I can get behind. But what makes her even better is her gameplay. You know the meme where the final boss where you fight him, and then the final boss where he's a playable character, and it's just like, it's not equaled out? Well, Melusine is still in final boss mode when she's playable. She has a modular noble phantasm that she can pull off first turn by herself without the aid of support or CEs. Just her own 100% NP battery. And not only that, she is devastatingly powerful at her peak. Archers and berserkers of course get completely atomized. Neutral resistance doesn't stand a chance, and even resisted damage cannot survive the onslaught of a fully powered Melusine. The only issue that Melusine has is that I can't properly utilize the red hot deviation costume, which is not fair. She should have a special toggle that lets me choose to have her be in either her normal third ascension or in the costume. What is the point of even making this costume when the most effective way to use Melusine means that I will never get to use it? However, that is not Melusine's fault, it's the dev's fault. Melusine did nothing wrong. Look at this face. Is this the face of someone who could do something wrong? And just recently, she just got a summer ruler variant with brass knuckles. Do you know what that means? She's a candidate for my fan-made fighter class. She is so perfect that she is tailor-made for me. This hole was made for me. That came out very wrong, and I apologize for that. The ruler class is also really, really cool. She's an arts crit monster, and I mean that with all the love in my heart. Arts buff, crits buff, NP crit buff, star absorption, a concerning amount of star generation, AoE for loops, 80% battery, she's got it made. Max out that monoloading, and she can, yet again, get that one turn noble phantasm by herself. And a little Longling Wang and Zhangju action can pretty reliably get those sweet, sweet waterside stars. And then swap in Castoria next wave, and she's pretty set with that makeup, I think. Maybe it's not the best setup, I still get 2 more years to work it out, or someone else too, we'll get there. Also, look at her third ascension in summer. Her machine gun rockets have their own swimsuits, and that is hilarious. Melusine is just plain perfect, no matter how you slice it. If you love Melusine, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Her army of adoring fans must consolidate. And don't forget to fill the comments with "Melusine is the best," so that people think that we're a cult, which for legal reasons, we are not a cult. I am not forming a cult. At least not again. With all that said, thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my friend Audra for doing some Melusine voice work. She does a lot of voice work on this channel, honestly. It's great. I appreciate her so much. And I hope to catch you next time in the void. Later.